Hafide and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Krystal Paco, so glad you could join us. Longtime University of Guam professor Dr. Michael Ellert is anticipated to appear in court this week. The psychology professor is accused of sexually assaulting two students at an off-campus event 2 years ago. Defense recently filed a motion to suppress to keep UOG's administrative findings out of evidence to be used in the government's case in chief. The motion will be discussed on September 20. Also set to appear in court this week is former police officer Mark Torrey Jr. As we previously reported, the government filed motions to keep GPD's personnel files of victim Albert Piolo and key witness John Edwards II out of evidence, calling it, quote, a fishing expedition, end quote. Last summer, Piolo was fatally shot in the chest. When he phoned 911 for help, he told dispatchers Torrey was with him at the time of the shooting. The hearing is scheduled for September 23rd in Judge Michael Berdalio's courtroom. Just as a series of public hearings continues next week over developments in southern Guam, a pair of lawsuits over a controversial project in Pago Bay remains before court. Ken Quintanilla has the latest.
Obviously, I'm not happy with it, because I think there are some merits to our arguments or to our questions with regard to the actions of the Guam Land Use Commission, and that there should be some sort of legal review.
Orda Chalampago Mayor Jesse Gogui is referring to a motion to dismiss by the Attorney General's office over a lawsuit filed this summer. Back in late May, Gogui filed a petition for judicial review on behalf of the Jotnya and Orda Chalampago communities against the GLUC's decision on the high-rise development named the Pago Bay Marina Resort. The petition was eventually amended to include the entire Mayor's Council of Guam.
I provided the council with a copy of the motion, and now I'm seeking awaiting a response from them as to what do we want to do next. Do we want to go ahead and move forward with accepting the motion, or do we want to try to find a legal representative to help put together a brief to oppose the motion to dismiss?
Gogui says as part of the motion, the AG is claiming the MCOG doesn't have the authority to sue, adding it's a conflict between the executive branch entities involved in the matter. The AG's office is defending the case and the actions of the GLUC as it's required to do by law. The mayor's lawsuit joins another petition by Save Southern Guam and 8 longtime residents from Pago Bay and Jotnya against the GLUC, land management, and Guam Wanfang construction. Gogui says the lawsuit needs to move forward because the GLUC has set a dangerous precedent when it comes to zoning laws and this particular project. He says more importantly, it's for the residents who continue to raise concerns from utility impacts to traffic congestion.
I get constant calls. I'm asked to constantly update residents in the community that will be directly affected by this development.
And as he awaits feedback from the rest of the MCOG, Gogui does encourage the community to participate in a series of hearings that continues next week on a pair of bills related to development in southern Guam.
In order to get the leadership of this island to understand the concerns that the people have with regard to these types of activities, they've got to engage. They've got to go out and hear what's being said.
Bill 366 would suspend development in southern Guam for 2 years or until a Southern Development Master Plan is completed. Bill 365, meanwhile, would require key government agencies' input on construction projects prior to a public hearing. You can view a full listing of the hearings on GuamLegislature.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
It's the latest invasive species to come to Guam and joins the likes of the brown tree snake, the little fire ant, and the coconut rhinoceros beetle. Believed to have first made Guam its home a year ago, sightings are now island-wide and are a growing concern for those allergic to bee stings as well as susceptible populations like infants and elderly. Here's more on the greater banded hornet.
Well, this is the newest resident of Guam. It's the greater banded hornet, or Vespa tropica.
Dr. Ross Miller is an entomologist with the University of Guam. Although in its early stages of infestation, Dr. Miller believes the greater banded hornet is likely to become a permanent resident. Already it's been sighted from Cross Island Road to Dedido, with new sightings reported daily. In total, however, only 4 nests have been confirmed. Dr. Miller says this is where the community is encouraged to get involved. Should you see the wasp, you're encouraged to report it. That helps researchers get a better idea of how far their spread is.
When a new species come into the island, the first thing we do is to do a survey to figure out where it's at and how abundant is it, which will allow us to make some educated guesses on whether it can be eradicated or not. Now the question is, how did it get here? Well, you either come in on a plane or a boat, or you're born here. That's the only way to get to Guam that I figured out. So this wasp probably came in on a container or on a ship. And remember, it only takes one fertile female. But chances are there was a small nest in a container. It's impossible to inspect all the containers.
Residents should beware should they try to tackle an infestation on their own. Greater banded hornets are more aggressive and bigger than our local bees. Their stinger also packs a more powerful punch that could potentially be fatal to infants, elderly, and those allergic to stings.
It's a very, very distinct looking wasp. It's black, about the size of your little finger, or a little smaller, but it has that orange band. There's nothing else on Guam that has the size, the color, and that band. So it's very, very easy to identify. And so if you're allergic to honeybees or wasps, this will give you the same reaction. If you're stung once, it's going to swell up and hurt like crazy for a while, and then it'll go away.
Should you spot the greater banded hornet, call 475-PEST or 735-2001. In this week's Local Harvest, Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. tells us about his reasons for gardening and why it's so important.
It initially started out as a way to relieve stress.
Just doing something outside the house with our 2 boys. And so when I discovered that some seeds that I put in a pot actually grow, I really got excited about that.
Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. said that is when he really started to get into more planting and gardening.
Having it very successful and sharing it with others now, and really understanding even better the importance of us being able to plant our own food. How it contributes to us really living healthier.
Last weekend at the 7th Annual Doña Festival in Manila, Farm to Table Executive Director Melanie Mendiola invited Rodriguez to do a seedling planting demonstration.
When Mel from Farm to Table and the coordinator of Doña Festival asked me to do a seedling demonstration, I said, boy, I've never done one, right? But then I said, okay, I'm just going to be able to share how, as someone as amateur as I am in farming, can do it, and show the others how easy it really is to be able just to start off and planting at home, even if you don't have a big yard.
Because it was the Doña Festival, in his demo he used Doña pepper seedlings.
We germinated some Doña today. We gave it out, and so we're hoping that it'll grow. And I told them, you guys got to give a little bit of TLC, tender love and care.
Along with seedlings, Rodriguez also offered some planting pointers.
Shared with them that in the past, what I hear, some people saying they talk to their plants, they talk to their flowers and their fruits and vegetables. I thought they were crazy. But believe it or not, I find myself talking to my plants now. When I water them, tell them, hey, good morning, guys. Make sure you guys produce, soon. And so I found out it really helps.
He hopes people will give gardening a shot so that they too may experience the wonderful feeling of satisfaction, creating beauty where there was none before, or a bounty of chemical-free fruits and vegetables for the family.
I'm hoping people can get excited about it too and do their own garden, because it's not just good for your health, it's good to bring your family together. And it's really teaching us how to be sustainable.
For this week's Local Harvest, I'm Jennifer Charfris.
Stay tuned next on Weekend Edition. Political analysts Ron McNinch and Sean Gumatata join us in studio, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers Report.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
It's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beautiful
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years.
Such a beautiful day.
Rely on Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are.
It's a beautiful day.
Select Care, healthcare that's there for you.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
No problem. Check our new Galaxy S7 Edge.
Our network is faster and more reliable with increased reach throughout the islands, Guam, and the Cedar Isles.
What do you think?
It's lit.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth to sleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast. Blast off! And now birthdays are more of a blast than ever. Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double. Kid can be a kid.
If you can dream it, you can do it. In the all-new Ridgeline from Honda.
Welcome back, everybody. We are recapping the week in Guam politics. Now I have here my good friend Sean Gomatato and Dr. Ron McNinch from the University of Guam. Now, gentlemen, the big topic of this week as far as politics go was Senator Michael Nicholas and his possible future as a member of the Democrat Party of Guam. But Ron, I wanted to start with you, and let's talk about like how often you see candidates either switch sides or change political allegiances and everything, because depending on who you talk to, this can either be a strategic move or it can be almost like a holy war move, changing from one religion to another.
Yeah, the classic definition of a young Turk, it comes from the Turkish parliament, I believe. The younger members were really yanking the chain of the older members, and they were viewed as radicals or people who were really not following the party line. In American politics, we get the term maverick from a gentleman named Maverick, who I believe he was from Texas. He was pushing for very radical or progressive, however you want to view it, kinds of ideas. And so this is a very old kind of behavior in politics.
Good allusion to the Ottoman Empire also by you. Sean, how does this affect, not only the impression of party stability and of unity, and that's been the word that's been echoed so many times this week, but when fragmentation happens and everything like that, what does that give to the perception of the voter and the community at large?
Well, let's start with the Democratic Party. I mean, in this case, that's where all the focus is at this week. Its focus, probably some undue focus. I mean, most of the party elders, yeah, they might be a little upset. But some of the younger Democrats are probably out there saying, did we really want our dirty laundry to be hung out there for all to see? And it was an interesting thing because they had the foot on the gas and they were like, we're going to do these things. They were taking a hardline stance. And then when they finally met, they said, well, we're going to consider after the election's over. So getting it out there, people know about it. I'm just not sure how that's going to translate in a couple of weeks when they have to vote, and whether or not that might affect the mayoral races, how that will affect maybe where all these people sit at the end of the day from 1 to 15.
Well, Carlo Brancha actually gave us like a really good soundbite that kind of tried to put the feather in the cap of that issue. And he said, this is a family issue. We'll handle it within the family. When we're ready for the public to know how this is proceeding and everything like that, you will know. And I think Carlo Ron knows like a thing or two about, being able to communicate with both sides.
Sure, and the range of families ranges from the Addams family to the Waltons. So I mean, really, it just depends on where.
Good night, John Boy.
That's right, exactly. So that's part of the and it's tolerance, and it's really tolerance of people that are supposed to have tolerance for each other. But sometimes, and this is the pulling back the veil a little bit on how things really work. People in the same party often will hate each other, and that their parties are relationships of convenience rather than relationships of endearment. And so everyone has a greedy self-interest to maintain their political positions because the party is what gives them that place on the ballot, yet they might feel a little bit differently.
Yeah, Jason, it's supposed to be politics is a game of addition, not a game of subtraction. So to see what's happened over the past week, it will always beg the question, did it do any harm to the addition part when you're trying to say, hey, listen, we're doing all these great things for our people. We're trying to look out for your best interests on the budget, all these things. And then this comes, is that giving any confidence to those Democratic voters? Will they vote, or will they just say, never mind, I'll try to get somebody else?
And you would think, guys, that part of the organization who's sitting back, and you can maybe hear their laughter coming all the way from downtown, is the Republican Party, because they just say, okay, go ahead and tear yourselves apart and everything. We're just going to continue to project our message that we are unified and we are one collective voice, while you guys, continue to publicly squabble.
Yeah, right.
How do you handle that, or how do you nip that in the bud?
Right now, they're saying, all right, great. They're shooting in the tents. Time for us to go out there and go canvass and tell everybody, hey, we're the party of unity. We are the guys that are out there doing our best work for you. If you want to have anything else, go check out the other guys. They're still shooting in the tent.
And this is an opportunity, Rod, I would assume, for the Republicans to try and turn some traditional Democrat voters and just say, hey, if you want to get in our way of thinking and everything, like things are okay over here on this side of the pool, while that other side, the water might be a little warm.
Sure. I think we are the lesser dysfunctional group. And sometimes if we're lesser dysfunctional, we can be more effective policy-wise. We can serve you better because we don't fight as much.
This truly is trench warfare when you take a look at it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So how do we move forward from this? And then Sean, you've dealt as a member of Felix Camacho's administration, crisis management and dousing fires and everything like that. Were you in charge of this squabble and everything like that? How would you actually diffuse this?
We're going to need to change the message like right now. We need to find something that will say, hey, listen, we all can get behind an issue, one that will get voters to say okay, and also that they'll back them at the polls.
And Ron, as a prognosticator of politics on Guam, and probably like, the soothsayer of our profession, what do you look for next, and what do you think is coming up?
Well, basically, if the Democrats aren't careful, they could lose their majority over this. And that's the bottom line, is if you have the majority, you want to keep the majority. And if you're in the minority, you want the majority. And so the game is over the majority. And if the Democrats aren't careful, they're going to topple or capsize their little boat of statesmanship and sink their majority. And they better be careful.
And it'll also affect in 2 years when the election for governor happens.
The political gamesmanship is really interesting. So guys, we always appreciate your insight on exactly how this is playing out. All right, please stay tuned, everybody. We are back right after this.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in and the bellman at the hotel. The tour bus drivers and tour guides. The stores they shopped at and the banks they used. The restaurant and the waitress. The supplier who delivered the ingredients and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes strong and healthy. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that help build our homes. From caring for our land through the Dahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Tidzas Ma'asi, Matson.
So what's the next one up? Says it's a Buick. Wow, that doesn't look like a Buick. So your dad let you borrow the
Buick, Mr. Simmons. And it's got a 5-star overall safety rating.
I don't think that's what he's worried about. Bet you haven't seen anything like it.
It's a Buick.
I'm what you'd call an early adopter.
Now, get this 2016 Buick Verano starting at $19,995. Visit AutoSpot Buick today for great offers. We are your Buick dealer of Guam.
Hafa everybody. You might remember on a previous episode of our show that the chief of police was in studio, Joseph Cruz, and he was talking about why Guamanians should consider a career in law enforcement. Now, Officer Paul Tapao is here, who works for the chief, and you've actually known him for a lot of years.
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate to work with him when he was prior to his engagement with the Army. So.
Yeah, and he was saying, of course, he's got military training. He's obviously got his training for the Guam Police Department. Now, for people that might be considering, hey, I'd like to work in GPD, or I've always wanted to be an officer of the law, how should you prepare yourself maybe for the physical training that will happen, and also like the mental training, and how can you get ready for training?
Well, you can never really get ready for any type of training which the Guam Police Department or the work of as a police officer is thrown at you. What our cadres will do is prepare you for the worst. Prepare yourself mentally. Read up on books, read up on laws, current laws, previous laws that made amendments to, with the legislation. That'll keep you abreast of what's going on within the law enforcement world. Physically, you do need to be in tip-top shape when you enter the department. Right now, we're going to our post-evaluation where there's the requirement for officers now to meet the physical standards. So there's that continued flow from entry level to current status as a police officer. But to prepare yourself mentally and physically, you do have to be in tip-top shape, running a lot of push-ups and a lot of exercises.
Now, if I want to be a Guam Police Department officer and say I've got, military training, or I previously served and then I retired, does that give me any sort of advantage, or can I start at like a certain rank?
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you hiring preference points, but it also gives you the edge over some of the officers who don't have, or who lack the discipline of a military structure. I was fortunate to have my academy. I was graced with a lot of military personnel, so they instilled in me the discipline aspect of an organized organizing company. So we were able to work together, we were able to train together, we were able to study together. So it made training much easier.
All right, we are going to talk about training in just another minute, but here is this week's Crime of the Week.
On Monday, September 12th at 8:30 in the morning, officers from the Tumon Tumuni Precinct Command responded to a burglary call at a doctor's clinic located on Father Duane's Drive in Tumuni. Now, according to the police report, the clinic was secured over the weekend. It was indicated that an alarm activation was reported on Sunday, September 11th at around 2 in the afternoon. A check was made by the security personnel where it was noted to be an unfounded alarm activation. On Monday, September 12th, when staff to the doctor's clinic pharmacy area arrived for operation, they discovered the sliding door and the glass to the pharmacy windows were damaged. With forced entry was made into the pharmacy area with a full inventory yet to be submitted in reference to the items missing. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers and the Guam Police Department need your help in reference to this case. If you have any information about this crime or any other crime, please call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. You can also send a text to 486-HELP. That's 486-4357. You can also submit information of a crime through our webpage at guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, Officer Tapal, just simply stated, what is training like when you're going through it?
Man, you got to prepare yourself. Really, you do. Once you wake up in the morning, you got to prepare yourself for the unexpected. Really, it's police work changes just like that. The calls happen in an instant where we have to adapt. And our cadres do an excellent job in preparing you for that. So really, you do have to start with your mental preparation. I think in any sport, in any facet of mental readiness, it starts with you as an individual for mental preparation. And there, it should be easy, piece of cake.
And now, what other types of careers are available within GPD? Like most people think, I'm going to be like maybe a patrol officer, but I mean, there are a lot more ways that you can work and you can serve Guam through GPD.
Yeah, absolutely. We have, we have our narcotics officers that work hand in hand with our federal side. We have our forensic science who actually work with FBI, our counterparts with the federal side, the FBI particular, in cases. And, there's a wide range of opportunity. We have crash investigators, certified reconstructionists who have the opportunity to work with insurance companies, major insurance companies. They fly them in and they go over the crash data and everything, and they're able to come up with the answer and the solution. So it's not just basic patrol work, but there's a vast openings for a lot of people who are interested in different aspects of their career.
And at the end of the day, you're just doing your very best work to keep Guam safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody puts in their, they punch in, and we always put in that it's for the community.
All right. And before we go, how long is training? How many weeks?
Man, sometimes it varies 3 to 6 months. So just prepare yourself. Start with your mental preparation.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Please stay tuned. We are back right after this.
Come celebrate with Ulitao, Guam's proud seafaring tradition at I Fiestan Sadan Tasi, the Festival of the Canoes, October 1st and 2nd at the Valley of the Lati Talafofo River. Canoe carvers, artists, farmers, and local craftsmen will join us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Matson Navigation, the Guam Visitors Bureau, Heineken, Kloppenberg Enterprises, GTA, Uno, the Guamanian Magazine, and the stations of KUAM are proud sponsors of this event. Tickets are available at Shell stations in Tamuning, Dededo, Varagata Tri-Intersection, and Chalampago. For info, visit valleyoftheLati.com or call 789-3342.
The Nissan Summer Fun Event is on. Get into a new Nissan Rogue starting at $129 per pay period with a no worries car care plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3 years protection plan and free paint sealant. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan SUVs, including Murano, Pathfinder, and the Quest Sports Van. Score super low easy financing and save even more during the Summer Fun Event at Nissan Upper Tumon. Rogue starting at $129 per pay period. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
How come you're not training for the Guam Koku Road Race, man?
It's not even fair, bro. I'll just win that.
Boom! Got him.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
It's the kickoff to savings event at Cars Plus in Muncie, going on now through September. Save thousands on a brand new Hyundai. Experience the award-winning Hyundai lineup with the best warranty on Guam. 10 years or 100,000 miles. The 2017 Hyundai Elantra starting at just $16,995. That's right, a 2017. Or how about the Hyundai Accent starting at just $11,995? Unbeatable. SUV lovers, the Hyundai Tucson is starting at just $21,995. The perfect vehicle for those tailgate parties. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com for easy shopping and quick financing. Kick off the savings going on now at Cars Plus, driven by you.
And before we close out the news tonight, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy 20th birthday, Joanna C. Torres, from Daddy, Mommy, and older sister, Jeriza Torres. Happy birthday to you, Rachel Kaylee Cruz Cabales, from Mom, Alice, and Christopher Ada, brothers and sisters, and the entire Cruz family. Happy second birthday, Jacoa Apatang Cruz. We love you, coming from Sissy, Lil Man, and family. Happy birthday to you, Glenn Kanata. Many more blessings for years to come. We love you, from your wife and children. Turning to this weekend, happy birthday, John Paul Jones Jr. or Boboy. We love you so much, coming from Mommy, Daddy, and Sissies. Happy birthday, Peter Paul Guerrero Cruz with Tribal Theory. From your dad, Peter Cruz, sisters Chantel and Alice Cruz, and the Cruz family. Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date so we can celebrate you. And that's all the time we have. From all of us here at Guam's News Network, thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.